Hello everyone, I'm thrilled you've picked up How to Stop Negative Thinking Patterns. I've spent years helping people unlock their potential, and I truly believe everyone has the power to create a happier, more fulfilling life. This book isn't about quick fixes or empty promises. It's a practical guide to understanding and overcoming the negative thoughts that hold you back. We all have those nagging voices in our heads. They tell us we're not good enough, we'll fail, or things will never get better. These negative thoughts aren't just annoying. They can sabotage our relationships, careers, and overall well-being. They can keep us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. But here's the good news. You don't have to be at the mercy of your negative thoughts. You can learn to control them, challenge them, and ultimately replace them with more positive and empowering ones. That's what this book is all about. Inside, you'll find simple, actionable strategies to identify your negative thinking patterns, understand where they come from, and develop effective techniques to break free from them. We'll explore common thought traps like overgeneralization, catastrophizing, and personalizing, and I'll give you practical tools to reframe your thoughts and build a more positive mindset. This isn't just theory. I'll share real-life examples and stories to illustrate how these techniques work in practice. You'll learn how to apply them to various situations, from dealing with work stress to navigating relationship challenges to simply feeling more confident in your own skin. What will you gain from reading this book? You'll learn to identify your negative thinking patterns, recognize the specific thoughts that are holding you back, understand the root causes of negative thinking, explore the origins of your negative thoughts and beliefs, challenge negative thoughts, develop techniques to question and reframe your negative thoughts. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Cultivate a more optimistic and empowering mindset. Build resilience. Develop the mental strength to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. Improve your relationships. Communicate more effectively, and build stronger connections with others. Boost your confidence. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Reduce stress and anxiety. Manage your emotions more effectively. Live a more fulfilling life. Pursue your goals and dreams with greater confidence and determination. This book is your personal guide to transforming your thinking and creating a life you love. It's time to take control of your thoughts and unlock your full potential. Let's get started. All right, champion. Let's dive headfirst into what I call the most crucial battlefield you'll ever face, the one inside your own mind. Chapter 1. Recognizing the negative narrator in your head. Ever felt like you're your own worst enemy? Like there's a little voice whispering, or maybe even shouting, doubts, fears, and criticisms inside your head? Well, you're not alone. Everyone has that inner critic, that pesky voice I call the negative narrator. Think of it like this. You're the star of your own movie, a blockbuster adventure, right? But this negative narrator is sitting in the director's chair, determined to rewrite the script into a tragedy. It's constantly feeding you lines like, "You're not good enough," "You'll never succeed," or "What were you thinking?" It's that voice that pipes up the second you even think about trying something new, something scary, something amazing. This negative narrator is a master of disguise. It can sound like logic, be realistic, caution, don't get your hopes up, or even concern, I'm just trying to protect you. But underneath all that, it's just fear disguised in a convincing costume. Common scripts of the negative narrator. The judge, "You're such an idiot." Everyone's laughing at you. The prophet of doom, "This is going to end badly, I just know it." The comparison queen/king, "Look at them. They're so much better than you." The perfectionist, "That's not good enough, it has to be perfect, or don't even bother." Now here's the most important thing to understand. This voice isn't always telling the truth. Seriously. It's based on past experiences, fears, and limiting beliefs that may no longer serve you. It's like an old, outdated GPS constantly trying to reroute you back to the familiar, even if the familiar is a dead end. The first step to silencing that negative narrator is recognizing it. Start paying attention to those inner voices. Notice when they pop up, what triggers them, and what kinds of things they say. Give that voice a name. Seriously. Call it Debbie Downer, or Captain Catastrophe. Whatever helps you realize it's just a character, not the real you. You are much more than those negative thoughts. You are capable, resilient, and worthy of pursuing your dreams. So let's start shining a spotlight on that negative narrator and exposing its lies. The game is on. Alright, champion. Let's dive headfirst into Chapter 2, Why We Think Negative Thoughts and Why It's Okay Initially. Listen, you're not a weirdo because you have negative thoughts. Seriously, we all do. It's part of being human. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start kicking those negative thoughts to the curb. So, why do they pop up? Think of it like this. Your brain is trying to protect you. Primitive, right? Back in the day, a rustle in the bushes meant danger. Your brain needed to be on high alert, scanning for threats. That wiring hasn't completely gone away. Negative thoughts often stem from fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, you name it. It's your brain's way of saying, hey, be careful, something bad could happen. It's like a hyperactive security guard, constantly pointing out potential threats, even if they're just shadows. Also, past experiences play a huge role. Did you stumble and fall when learning to ride a bike? Your brain might now whisper, don't try that new activity. Remember what happened last time. That's your brain trying to prevent you from pain, even though pain is part of growth. And let's not forget society. The media, social circles, even your family, they all influence your thinking. Think about it. How often are you bombarded with messages about what you lack? You need this. You need to be like that. You're not good enough unless. It's a constant barrage, and it's no wonder negative thoughts seep in. Now, here's the important part. Negative thoughts aren't always bad, initially. Sometimes, they can be helpful. That little voice that says, maybe you should double-check those numbers before submitting that report. That's your brain helping you prevent a mistake. That's constructive. But here's the catch. It's all about balance. The problem arises when these negative thoughts become chronic and overwhelming. When the security guard is screaming all the time, even when there's no real threat, that's when it becomes toxic. So acknowledge those initial negative thoughts. Understand where they are coming from. Even thank them for, maybe, trying to protect you. But don't let them take over. We're going to learn how to wrestle back control of your mind and start building a mindset that will propel you towards the amazing life you deserve. Are you ready? Alright, get ready to rumble with reality. This is your moment to break free from the prison of perfection. I'm talking about Chapter 3, The Lie of Perfection, Unmasking Unrealistic Expectations. Listen up, friends. How many times have you felt utterly crushed because you didn't live up to some impossible standard you set for yourself? How many times have you held back from even trying something because you knew you couldn't be perfect at it right away? I bet it's more often than you'd like to admit. Here's the truth bomb. Perfection is a myth. It's a big, fat lie, marketed to us by society, by our inner critic, and sometimes even by well-meaning parents, who just wanted the best for us. But striving for perfection is a guaranteed path to misery. Think about it. What does perfect even look like? Is it the flawless Instagram photo, the spotless house, the career that skyrocketed to the top without a single stumble? Newsflash. All of that is illusion. Behind every seemingly perfect facade are struggles, mistakes, and a whole lot of hard work. We put immense pressure on ourselves to be perfect partners, perfect parents, perfect employees, perfect friends. The list goes on. And when we inevitably fall short, because we will fall short, we're human. We beat ourselves up mercilessly. We tell ourselves we're failures, we're not good enough, we'll never measure up. But what if we changed the game? What if we embraced the beautiful, messy reality of imperfection? What if we allowed ourselves to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to grow stronger in the process? Let me give you an example. Consider John. John always believed everything he did had to be flawless and perfect. He would spend hours on a presentation at work, redoing every slide, and stressing over every sentence. He was so afraid of messing up and people judging him, that he would often miss deadlines. His pursuit of perfection actually hurt his performance and made him anxious and stressful. The turning point for John was when he realized that nobody cares about how perfect the presentation and slide were put together. What they cared about was how good the team performed and if they can reach their goals. So John started turning the focus to the real goals of the team instead of obsessing over perfection. Embrace the fact that you are a work in progress. You're allowed to stumble, you're allowed to learn, and you are most definitely allowed to be imperfect. Let go of the unrealistic expectations that are holding you back and start living a life that is authentic, joyful, and truly your own. Alright, champion, let's dive into something super important. Catching your thoughts. Chapter 4. Catching your thoughts, becoming mindful of your inner world. Listen, you're a superhero in training, and every superhero needs to know what's going on inside their own head. That's what mindfulness is all about. Becoming aware of your inner world, your thoughts and your feelings, without getting swept away by them. Think of it like this. You're learning to become the observer of your thoughts, not just the player reacting to them. So how do we actually catch these pesky thoughts? It's simpler than you think, but it takes practice, like anything worthwhile. Here are a few easy techniques to get you started. 1. The pause button breath. Throughout your day, set reminders, on your phone maybe, to just pause. Close your eyes if you can safely do so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then slowly exhale. As you breathe, notice what thoughts are floating around in your head. Don't judge them, don't analyze them, just observe. Oh, there's a thought about that meeting later. There's a little worry about finances. Just acknowledge them, and then gently bring your focus back to your breath. This tiny pause helps you create space between you and your thoughts. 2. Thought labeling. This is like giving a name to the beast. When a negative thought pops up, identify it. Don't get caught up in the story, just label it. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm going to fail this project," try labeling the thought as thinking failure or feeling anxiety. This simple act of labeling helps detach you from the thought's emotional power. It's like saying, "Hey, I see you anxiety, but you don't control me." 3. Body scan meditation. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, or lie down, and close your eyes. Start by focusing on your toes. How do they feel? Are they tense? Relaxed? Then, slowly move your attention up your body, one body part at a time. Feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, etc. Notice any sensations: tingling, warmth, tension, pain. The point isn't to change how you feel, but simply to notice. This exercise brings you into the present moment and helps you become more aware of the connection between your body and your thoughts. Your emotions often manifest physically, so noticing physical sensations can be a clue to underlying thoughts and feelings. Example, imagine Mark is feeling overwhelmed. He decides to try the pause button breath. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and notices his thoughts racing. "I have too much to do. I'll never finish. I'm going to disappoint everyone." Instead of spiraling, he labels them: thinking, overwhelm, feeling, pressure. He acknowledges these thoughts, then gently brings his focus back to his breath. This simple act of awareness gives him a moment to step back and realize he's not actually failing. He's just experiencing the feeling of overwhelm. You have the power to step outside of your thoughts and observe them. It takes practice, but with each mindful moment, you're strengthening your inner superhero. So go out there and start catching those thoughts. You got this. Alright, champion, let's dive into Chapter 5, Challenging the Negative Narrator. Is that really true? Listen up, because this is where we start to really take control. You've identified that nasty little voice in your head, the one that whispers doubts and paints everything in shades of doom. Now it's time to put that voice on trial. Think of it like this: your negative narrator is a suspect. It's making accusations, throwing around negativity like confetti at a pity party. But you're the detective. You're here to investigate, to uncover the truth. The key tool? Questioning everything. Don't just accept those negative thoughts as fact. Ask yourself, is there actual evidence to support this thought? Really dig deep. Is it based on concrete facts, or just a feeling, a fear, or something someone else said? For example, let's say the narrator whispers, "You'll fail that presentation." Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that I'll fail? Have I prepared? Have I practiced? Or am I just scared? What's the worst that could happen? Often our fears are far bigger than reality. Okay, so maybe the presentation doesn't go perfectly. What truly catastrophic thing will happen? Will you lose your job? Probably not. The worst case is usually manageable. A little embarrassment, some constructive criticism. Deal? What's the best that could happen? Flip the script. The negative narrator loves to focus on the downside. Make it face the sunshine. Imagine the presentation going incredibly well. How would that feel? Picture it vividly. What would I tell a friend in this situation? We're often far harder on ourselves than we are on others. If your friend was having the same negative thought, what encouraging words would you offer? Turn that kindness inward. Am I jumping to conclusions? Do you have all the information, or are you filling in the gaps with assumptions? For example, if a colleague doesn't smile at you in the hallway, are you sure they're mad at you? Or could they just be having a bad day? Consider this. John is learning to play guitar. The narrator says, "You'll never be any good, just give up now." Evidence. Has John been trying to play for years with no progress? Or has he only just started? What feedback has he actually received? Worst case, he doesn't become a rock star. Okay, he can still enjoy playing for himself. Best case, he gets pretty darn good and enjoys making music. What to tell a friend? Hey, everyone starts somewhere. Keep practicing and you'll get better every day. Jumping to conclusions. John assumes he has to be perfect immediately. See how powerful this is. By questioning the negative narrator, you expose its flawed logic and create space for more realistic, positive thoughts. Start challenging those negative whispers today. You've got this. All right, champions. Let's dive into Chapter 6, Reframing Your Perspective, Finding the Silver Lining, Without Being Pollyanna. Ever heard someone say, "Look on the bright side," after something crummy happens? Sometimes, that feels like a slap in the face, right? We're not talking about that. We're not about pretending everything's sunshine and rainbows when it's clearly raining cats and dogs. That's being Pollyanna, and frankly, it's exhausting. Reframing is different. It's about taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and looking at the situation from a different angle. Think of it like this. You're holding a gemstone. You're only seeing one facet. Reframing is rotating that gemstone to see other facets. Maybe some are dull, but some might sparkle a little. Let's say John didn't get the promotion he wanted. The negative narrator screams, "You're a failure, you're never going to amount to anything." But wait, let's reframe. Maybe this opens up new opportunities. Perhaps he can focus on developing different skills. Maybe this is a chance to explore a different career path altogether. Reframing isn't about denying disappointment. John is allowed to feel bummed. It's about adding to that feeling. It's about saying, "Okay, this stings," and then filling in the blank with a different perspective. How do we do it? Ask yourself these questions. What else could this mean? Is there another interpretation besides the worst-case scenario? What's one good thing that could come from this, even something small? What can I learn from this experience? Growth often comes from tough times. What opportunities might this situation create? Sometimes, closed doors lead to unexpected paths. Remember, we're not aiming for blind optimism. We're aiming for balanced thinking. We're acknowledging the negative, but we're also seeking out the potential positive aspects, the lessons learned, and the opportunities that might arise. So the next time you face a challenge, don't just wallow in the negativity. Grab that gemstone, rotate it, and see what other facets you can find. You might be surprised at the sparkle you uncover. You got this. All right, everyone, buckle up. We're about to dive headfirst into a tool so powerful, so transformative, it's like having a personal cheerleader living inside your head. And that tool? Positive affirmations. Chapter 7. The Power of Positive Affirmations. Rewiring your brain, one thought at a time. Think of your brain like a supercomputer. It's constantly processing information, learning, and adapting. But here's the thing. That supercomputer runs on software, your thoughts, beliefs, and habits. If that software is full of negativity, doubt, and worry, guess what kind of results you'll get? Exactly. Positive affirmations are like giving your brain a software upgrade. They're not just wishful thinking. They're strategic tools to reprogram your thought patterns, one positive thought at a time. They're about consciously choosing to believe in yourself and your potential. So how do we craft these brain-boosting affirmations? It's easier than you think. Here are a few key ingredients. Personal is paramount. Don't just parrot generic affirmations. Make them yours. Tailor them to your specific goals, dreams, and challenges. Instead of saying, "I am successful," try, "I am confidently pursuing my career goals, and my hard work is paying off." Believability is key. If you don't believe what you're saying, it's useless. Start small. Don't try to convince yourself you're a millionaire overnight if you're struggling to make rent. Begin with affirmations that feel possible, even slightly believable. I am taking steps to improve my financial situation is a great starting point. Focus on the desired outcome. Affirmations aren't about denying reality. They're about focusing on where you want to be. Instead of, I am not afraid, say, I am courageous and confident in the face of challenges. Frame it positively. Present tense power. Speak as if it's already happening. Use I am instead of I will be. This helps your subconscious mind accept the affirmation as truth. Now let's talk integration. How do you actually use these affirmations? Morning motivation. Start your day with a dose of positivity. Recite your affirmations in the morning, while you're brushing your teeth, making coffee, or stretching. Mirror, mirror. Look yourself in the eye and repeat your affirmations. It feels a little weird at first, but it's incredibly powerful. Affirmation reminders. Write them down, put them on sticky notes, set reminders on your phone. Surround yourself with positivity. The antidote. When negative thoughts creep in, and they will, combat them immediately with your affirmations. It's like mental judo. Remember, this isn't a one-time fix, it's a consistent practice. It takes time to rewire your brain, but the effort is absolutely worth it. With each repetition, you're planting seeds of self-belief that will blossom into a garden of confidence and achievement. So, what are you waiting for? Create your affirmations, start practicing, and watch your life transform. Go get 'em. Alright champions, let's talk about gratitude. Chapter 8, Gratitude as an Antidote, focusing on what you have, not what you lack. Listen, I get it. Life throws curveballs. It rains when you planned a picnic, your toast burns. But here's a secret weapon that can shift your whole perspective. Gratitude. Think of gratitude as a superpower. When your mind is racing with, I don't have enough, or I'm not good enough, boom. Gratitude swoops in and reminds you of all the amazing things you do have. It's like shining a flashlight on the good stuff, illuminating it and making it brighter. Why does it work? Well, your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. When you're dwelling on what you lack, that negativity takes over. Gratitude forces your brain to switch gears and focus on the positive. It's impossible to feel truly down when you're actively appreciating the good stuff. So, how do we cultivate this superpower? It's easier than you think. Simple gratitude practices. The gratitude journal. Grab a notebook, and every day write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. They can be big or small. I'm grateful for my comfy bed. I'm grateful for the funny text my friend sent. I'm grateful for the sunshine. The key is to feel the gratitude as you write. Really let it sink in. Gratitude prompts. If you're stuck, use prompts. I'm grateful for a skill I possess, or I'm grateful for someone who supports me. These jumpstart your brain. Gratitude walk. Take a walk and actively look for things to appreciate. The beauty of nature, the kindness of a stranger, the taste of your coffee. Be present and notice the good. Let's say, for example, Alex is feeling down because he didn't get a promotion. Instead of spiraling into negativity, Alex starts a gratitude journal. He writes, I'm grateful for my supportive team members. I'm grateful for my health, and I'm grateful for the roof over my head. Suddenly, the disappointment of the promotion doesn't seem so overwhelming. He realizes he has a lot to be thankful for, even if his immediate goal wasn't met. Stop comparing yourself to others and chasing some imagined perfect life. Focus on the blessings you already have. You have talents, relationships, opportunities, and experiences that are unique to you. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the challenges. It's about acknowledging the good alongside the struggles. It's about finding the light even in the darkest corners. So start today. Start small. And watch how gratitude transforms your perspective and your life. You got this. Alright champion, let's talk about something super important. You. Specifically treating yourself with the kindness and understanding you deserve. It's called self-compassion, and it's a game changer. Chapter 9. The importance of self-compassion. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding. Think about your best friend. They mess up, right? They make mistakes. They have bad days. Do you berate them? Call them names? Of course not. You offer them a hug, a listening ear, and say things like, hey, it's okay, everyone makes mistakes, or, you'll get through this. Now, picture that same scenario, but you are the one who messed up. What's the first thing you say to yourself? Is it something kind and supportive, or something harsh and critical? Be honest. Most of us, unfortunately, default to the latter. We become our own worst enemies. We beat ourselves up over every little flaw, every minor setback. We hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, and then punish ourselves when we inevitably fall short. Sounds familiar? But why? Why are we so much harder on ourselves than we are on the people we love? It's time to break that cycle. Self-compassion is about extending that same kindness, understanding, and empathy to ourselves, especially when we're struggling. It means acknowledging that you're human, imperfect, and prone to mistakes. It means recognizing that suffering is a part of the human experience, that you're not alone in your struggles. It's about giving yourself permission to be imperfect, to feel your emotions without judgment, and to treat yourself with the same gentle care you would offer a friend. Imagine you, Alex, bombs a presentation at work. Instead of thinking you're such an idiot you always screw things up, self-compassion would sound more like, okay, that didn't go as planned. Anyone would be nervous giving a presentation to that many people. What can I learn from this for next time? I deserve a break. See the difference? One leads to a downward spiral of negativity, the other offers a path to growth and resilience. Self-compassion isn't about letting yourself off the hook. It's not about making excuses for your mistakes. It's about creating a safe and supportive inner environment, where you can learn from your experiences, and grow into the best version of yourself. It allows you to assess situations realistically, without the crippling weight of self-criticism. This gives you fuel to do better next time, because you aren't stuck wallowing in self-pity. So start practicing self-compassion today. Notice the harsh thoughts you have about yourself and actively challenge them. Treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and the same love you freely give to others. You deserve it. You are worth it. Now go out there and show the world how amazing you are, starting with how amazing you treat yourself. You've got this. Alright, champs, let's talk about something huge, something that can completely transform your life and your mindset. Protecting your mental space, setting boundaries, and saying no. Listen, your mind is like a beautiful garden, right? You want to cultivate amazing positive thoughts and feelings. But what happens when weeds start growing? When negativity creeps in from outside sources, those weeds choke the life out of your beautiful flowers. That's what people who constantly bring you down, or situations that drain your energy, do to your mental garden. This chapter is all about building a fence around that garden. It's about creating boundaries and learning the magic word, no. Think about it. How often do you say yes when you really want to say no? You agree to help a friend even when you're overloaded. You attend a social gathering even when you're exhausted. You listen to someone complain for hours, even though it just brings you down. Stop it. Just stop it. Your time and energy are precious. They are resources you need to invest in yourself, in your dreams, in your happiness. Saying yes to everything and everyone ultimately means saying no to yourself. It means sacrificing your mental well-being for the sake of pleasing others. And guess what? You can't pour from an empty cup. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish. It's about being self-respectful. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring your needs. It's about understanding that you have the right to protect your mental space. Here's how to do it. Identify your triggers. What people, situations, or topics consistently bring you down? Make a list. Visualize your boundaries. Imagine a clear, strong barrier between you and those triggers. What does it look like? How does it feel? Practice saying no. Start small. Thanks for the invite, but I won't be able to make it. I'm sorry. I can't take on any more projects right now. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Be assertive, not aggressive. You don't need to apologize or justify your boundaries. A simple and direct no is often enough. Don't JADE, justify, argue, defend, explain. Once you've stated your boundary, resist the urge to over-explain your no. This is a common trap that invites others to try to change your mind or guilt you. Let's consider an example. Imagine Alex always calls you to vent about their problems for hours on end, leaving you feeling drained and negative. A boundary might look like this. Alex, I care about you, but I can't listen to these lengthy calls anymore. I need to protect my own energy. Maybe we can talk for 15 minutes next time. Boom, boundary set. This is your life, your happiness, your mental space. Protect it fiercely. Remember, you are the gatekeeper of your mind. Only allow positivity and growth to enter. Start setting those boundaries today, and watch your life transform. Alright, champions, let's tackle those energy vampires and negativity ninjas that drain your positivity. This is Chapter 11, Dealing with Difficult People, Strategies for Minimizing Their Impact. Listen, we all have them. Those individuals who somehow always manage to push your buttons, twist your words, or just generally leave you feeling depleted. Maybe it's a constantly complaining coworker, a judgy relative, or that neighbor who always finds something to criticize. The good news? You don't have to let them control your inner peace. The core problem is this: difficult people fuel negative thoughts. They provide the kindling, and you, often unintentionally, fan the flames. So how do we starve the fire? 1. Assertive communication is your shield. Be direct, honest, and respectful. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about stating your needs clearly. Instead of letting Bossy Bob assign you all the extra work, say, "Bob, I'm already at capacity with my current projects. I won't be able to take on anything else right now." Simple, clear, and firm. 2. Detachment is your superpower. This is huge. You can't control other people's behavior, but you absolutely can control your reaction to it. Practice detachment. Imagine putting up a force field. What they say or do bounces off, without piercing your soul. When Drama Dan starts gossiping, mentally disengage. Don't get pulled into the vortex. Think, "Interesting opinion, Dan," and then mentally change the subject. Puppies eating ice cream, your dream vacation, anything. 3. Focus on your reactions. Easier said than done, I know, but this is where the magic happens. When dealing with negative Nancy, notice what's happening inside you. Are you getting tense, annoyed, frustrated? Acknowledge it. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that their negativity is their problem, not yours. Choose a different reaction. Choose calm. Choose strength. 4. The power of boundaries. This is non-negotiable. Boundaries are the lines you draw that define what behavior you will and will not tolerate. If critic Carl constantly insults your cooking, politely but firmly say, "Carl, I appreciate your feedback, but I'd prefer you keep comments about my cooking to yourself." And then, if he continues, disengage, leave the room, end the conversation. 5. Minimize exposure seriously. If possible, reduce your interaction with the most difficult people in your life. Can you delegate tasks to avoid micromanaging Mike? Can you politely decline invitations from annoying Aunt Agnes? Protect your energy. This isn't about changing these people. It's about changing how you respond to them. It's about reclaiming your power and creating a space where negativity can't thrive. You've got this. Alright, champion, buckle up, because we're about to tackle one of the biggest roadblocks to your personal power: resentment. Let's dive into Chapter 12, Forgiveness, Letting Go of Resentment and Moving Forward. Listen up. This ain't about letting someone off the hook. This is purely selfish, in the best possible way. Holding on to anger, resentment, and bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It eats you up from the inside. It fuels that negative narrator, reinforcing those awful thought patterns we've been battling. Think of it like this. Resentment is a heavy backpack filled with rocks. You drag it everywhere. To work, to dinner, even to bed. It weighs you down, slows you down, and makes everything harder. Forgiveness is simply dropping that backpack. But you might be saying, "They hurt me. They deserve to suffer." I hear you. Trust me, I really hear you. But ask yourself, is holding on to that anger actually punishing them? Or is it punishing you? Is it making their life miserable? Or is it stealing your joy? Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning their actions. It doesn't mean saying what they did was okay. It means releasing yourself from the prison of your own anger. It means choosing peace over pain. How do you even start to forgive? Here's a simple exercise. 1. Acknowledge the pain. Don't minimize what happened. Admit that you were hurt, angry, disappointed, etc. 2. Understand your role. This doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means recognizing how you are reacting to the situation. Are you replaying it constantly? Are you letting it affect your other relationships? 3. Choose to let go. This is the hardest part, but it is a conscious choice. You decide that you will no longer let this person or event control your happiness. Seriously, say it out loud. I choose to let go. 4. Focus on the future. What do you want your life to look like moving forward? Don't let the past define it. Let's say your friend, let's call him Greg, borrowed money and never paid you back. You're furious. Forgiveness isn't saying Greg was right. It's about saying, okay, that sucked. I've learned my lesson about lending him money. Now I'm going to focus on building my financial security and move on with my life without letting this affect me anymore. It takes time. There will be slip-ups. You might feel angry again. That's okay. Just keep choosing to let go. Keep dropping that backpack. You deserve to be lighter, happier, and free. Forgiveness is the key. Go out there and unlock your inner peace. You got this. All right, champions. Let's talk about rocket fuel for your positive thinking journey. It's called connection. This is chapter 13, creating a supportive environment, the importance of connection. Look, we're not meant to be islands. We are social creatures, and having a strong support network is crucial for blasting through negativity and achieving your goals. Think of it like this. You're launching a rocket. You need fuel, a strong launch pad, and a team cheering you on. Your supportive environment is that launch pad and cheering squad. What does a supportive environment look like? It's filled with people who believe in you. They see your potential, maybe even before you do. Offer encouragement. They give you that needed, you got this, when doubt creeps in. Listen without judgment. They're there to lend an ear and offer understanding, not criticism. Celebrate your wins, big or small. They're genuinely happy for your successes. Challenge you constructively. They push you to grow, but in a positive, supportive way. Now, how do you build this fortress of awesome? Identify your cheerleaders. Who in your life consistently lifts you up? Spend more time with them. Be selective. Not everyone is going to be supportive. Distance yourself from toxic relationships. It's okay to say no to draining energy vampires. We'll get to setting boundaries later. Be vulnerable. Open up to people you trust. Sharing your struggles makes you stronger, not weaker. Give back. Support goes both ways. Be a cheerleader for your friends. Join communities. Find groups of people who share your interests or goals. This could be a book club, a sports team, or an online forum. Imagine Tom is learning to play the guitar. Instead of practicing alone, he joins a local music group. He gets feedback, encouragement, and even finds a mentor. His progress skyrockets. He's having a blast because he has people who understand his journey. Listen up. Don't underestimate the power of connection. Building a supportive environment is an investment in yourself and your future success. Go now and build that circle of awesome. You deserve it, and your dreams deserve it too. All right, champions, listen up. You've been doing amazing work retraining your brain, silencing that pesky negative narrator, and building a fortress of positivity. You're flexing those mental muscles like never before, but let's be real. Sometimes, no matter how hard we train, the weight gets too heavy, and that's okay. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. This chapter is about recognizing when you need a professional spotter, someone who can help you lift that weight safely and effectively. We're talking about therapy, counseling, that kind of support. Let's be clear, seeking professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's an acknowledgement that you value your mental well-being enough to invest in it. It's like taking your car to a mechanic when the engine's sputtering. You wouldn't just ignore it, would you? So when should you consider seeking help? Here are some red flags waving. Persistent sadness or hopelessness. If the blues are sticking around longer than a catchy pop song and nothing seems to lift your spirits, it's time to talk to someone. We all have down days, but chronic sadness is a warning sign. Overwhelming anxiety or panic attacks. Feeling jittery is one thing, but if anxiety is interfering with your daily life, causing panic attacks, sleeplessness, or avoidance of social situations, a professional can provide strategies for managing it. Difficulty functioning. Are you struggling to get out of bed, go to work, or maintain basic hygiene? If everyday tasks feel like climbing Mount Everest, you might need some extra support. Withdrawal from loved ones. Are you isolating yourself from friends and family? Losing interest in activities you once enjoyed? Connection is vital, and withdrawal can be a sign of deeper issues. Thoughts of self-harm or suicide. This is critical. If you're having thoughts of hurting yourself, please reach out for help immediately. There are people who care and want to help you through this. You can call a suicide hotline or go to the nearest emergency room. You are not alone. Finding the right therapist is like finding the perfect pair of running shoes. It takes some trial and error. Start by asking your doctor for referrals. You can also research therapists online or through your insurance provider. Look for someone who is licensed and experienced in treating the issues you're facing. Don't be afraid to shop around and find someone you feel comfortable with. Most therapists offer an initial consultation so you can see if it's a good fit. Remember, seeking professional help is an investment in yourself, your well-being, and your future. It's not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're committed to living your best, most authentic life. Now go out there and be amazing. All right, champion, you've reached the final chapter. Give yourself a huge pat on the back. You've come so far, learned so much, and are already well on your way to transforming your life. But, and this is a big but, the journey doesn't end here. This is where it really begins. Chapter 15 is all about maintaining momentum, making positive thinking a lifelong habit. Think of all the tools you've added to your toolbox, recognizing that pesky negative narrator, challenging those lies it whispers, reframing perspectives, the power of affirmations, gratitude, self-compassion, boundaries. These aren't just tricks. They're life skills. But here's the key. Like any skill, positive thinking requires consistent practice. You wouldn't expect to play the piano perfectly after just a few lessons, would you? So don't expect to be sunshine and rainbows 24/7 from now on. The negative narrator will try to stage a comeback. Setbacks will happen. Life throws curveballs. What matters is how you respond. Here's your plan to stay on track. 1. Regular check-ins, schedule time, even just 15 minutes a week to reflect. How are you doing? Is the negative narrator creeping back in? Are you using your tools? Revisit your affirmations, journal your gratitudes, renew your commitment. 2. Embrace imperfection. Don't beat yourself up when you slip. It's okay to have bad days. The key is to acknowledge it, learn from it, and use your tools to get back on track. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, even if it gets sore sometimes. 3. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate every small victory. Did you challenge a negative thought today? Did you show yourself some self-compassion? Awesome. Give yourself some credit. Celebrating small wins fuels your motivation. 4. Refine your boundaries. Review your boundaries. Are they still working? Do you need to adjust them? Protecting your mental space is an ongoing process. 5. Stay connected. Remember the power of connection. Keep nurturing your supportive relationships. Talk to trusted friends or family when you're struggling. 6. Keep learning. Never stop growing. Read more books, listen to podcasts, attend workshops. Keep feeding your mind with positive and inspiring content. Knowledge is power. 7. Be patient. This is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs. Be patient with yourself. Trust the process, and keep moving forward, one positive thought at a time. You are capable of incredible things. You have the power to create a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Believe in yourself, champion, and keep shining. Now, go out there and conquer the world. You got this.